Shalom Mubaraka, Mishpaka, peace and blessings, family. In this video, we're going to be talking about the biblical Shittim wood, also known as Acacia farnesiana. Acacia farnesiana is what we would call sweet acacia. Sweet acacia is the biblical Shittim wood, and we're going to talk about it. So where is Acacia farnesiana found? It's found on every single non-polar continent, right? Even in the Middle East. So yes, it's even found in the Middle East. So there should be no debate about this. Wherever you believe the land is, this is the biblical acacia, right? But it's found in the Middle East, and it's found in the Mojave Desert in Southern California as well. So we got ourselves a match. Now, some of the most important things in Torah were made with the Shittim wood: the tabernacle, Ark of the Covenant, altar of incense, altar of sacrifice, and the table of showbread were made of Shittim wood due to the rot resistance and anti-decaying properties of the tree. So these are the things that had to last forever. These things had to last for centuries. So the wood on the inside can't start rotting and decomposing. Yah picked the most rot-resistant wood there was to make these things. Now, the anti-rot capabilities are all thanks to its antifungal and antibacterial sap or gum, which has a very sweet smell. Gum from acacia is called Arabic gum. I know you've heard about Arabic gum before, but it's not just an Arabic thing. Acacias grow all over the world, right? Acacias have sap all over the world. You know, some of the sweetest acacias are found mostly in the Americas, right? But anyway, let's continue. Shittim sap has a strong possibility of being the true identity of stacte or galbanum, two sweet gums in the holy incense. We already talked about frankincense, which was in the holy incense, but now we're talking about stacte and galbanum. It's either of the two. I don't know exactly which one it is, but I can tell you 100% Shittim sap is the biblical stacte or galbanum. When we look at the word stacte in Hebrew, we have the word nataf, which means a drop, right? Specifically an aromatic gum, right? Specifically an aromatic gum. And we all know Arabic gum is an aromatic gum. It has a very sweet aroma, especially when it's coming from the sweet acacia. That's why I specifically told you that the biblical Shittim is sweet acacia, not just any acacia, the sweet smelling acacia. The sweet smelling acacia has the most positive energy out of all the other acacias. And when a plant smells sweet and it has a sweet odor, this shows that it has a high amount of positive energy and terpenes that is releasing into the air. And this shows you that this is very good for your spirit, your aura, your electromagnetic field. So also it talks about, also when you go to the root of nataf, it says a primitive root to ooze, that is to distill gradually, by implication to fall in drops. Now also, like when you look at the acacia sap, as you can see, it oozes, right? It falls in drops. Then on some article about sweet acacia, it says not only that, but the resin that excludes from wounds of sweet acacia is very useful stuff. At the right, you see some hardened resin where a sweet acacia twig has been broken off. Maybe you have heard of gum arabic, which is still used as a natural stabilizer and thickening agent in the food industry. Now, yes, they use this as a thickening agent in the food industry. Anyway, when we look at the word galbanum, right? Galbanum means odorous gum. It comes from the root chaleb, from an unused root meaning to be fat, right? And this resin is indeed fat. And when it's fresh, coming straight out the tree, it looks like a glob of animal fat, right? It says grease or marrow, right? So as you can see, it looks like grease. It looks like animal fat. That's why I say I lean more towards galbanum rather than stacte, but it could equally be both. It will make sense that Shittim sap was a part of the holy incense, as it is used today in some of the most expensive perfume. It says, interestingly, some of the world's finest, most expensive perfumes are based on the essence called Cassie, which is extracted from sweet acacia flowers. To get Cassie, masquerade the flowers and mix with melted purified fats until the fats are saturated with fragrance. Then remelt the fats, strain, and cool. Then when you Google what does Cassie perfume smell like, it says rich, sweet, warm, green, honey floral aroma with pronounced powdery and soft cinnammonic balsamic undertones with a subtle spicy violet like dry down. In other words, it smells good. You know what I'm saying? So, it wouldn't be a big reach to say that this was indeed in the holy incense. Now, there's actually some spiritual benefits of Arabic gum and using it as, an incense, burning it, putting it on top of a hot piece of coal and letting the smoke rise, right? Number one, the aura gets protected from deterioration. Remember, it's always going to benefit the spirit in similar ways that it benefits the plant, and in similar ways that the plant behaves, right? Plants, like for example, we was talking about pine and how pine represents everlasting life, because pine trees live in the coldest parts of winter, right? And how pine always is associated with longevity, right? And then it's been used historically to prevent suicide, right? It's been known to give you longevity and energy. So the way a plant behaves in the wild is also going to influence you in the same and similar way, because plants have spirits, and when you burn their resin, you take on some of their energy. So Arabic gum helps the plant to stay in its natural state even after death, to protect it from decomposition and decaying. So when you inhale and have this aroma in your space around your aura, it's going to protect your aura from deterioration. It's going to strengthen your aura, and basically it's going to protect it from negative energies messing up your aura. It's just going to make it strong, right? Also, positive energy gets released into the air, right? Just like any other resin, pretty much, it releases positive energy into the air. Number 3, it's thought to enhance visions during meditations. Now, the reason why is because there's tentative amounts of DMT found in sweet acacia. Now, tentative means it's an unlevel amount. It depends on the plant. Some have a little bit of dimethyltryptamine. Some have a lot of dimethyltryptamine. And dimethyltryptamine, as some of us may know, is basically a psychoactive, drug that people take to actually start seeing things and trip, right? And many plants have this in it. But what's really taking place when you inhale, when you consume dimethyltryptamine, is you are starting to tap into the spiritual realm. Now, sweet acacia only has a little bit of dimethyltryptamine compared to another type of acacia called Acacia confusa, and it's up to 20% DMT. A lot of people take the root bark of Acacia confusa and they make a tea with it, or they strain the DMT out of it, and they literally start tripping. But Acacia confusa only grows in Southeast Asia and not in the Americas, so our ancestors probably would not have had any contact with that until probably after trade with Tarshish under Solomon's reign, if and only if that was a part of the trade. Now, and the fourth benefit is it closely connects you to the spiritual realm. Now, all of these things from 1 through 4 are something that the priests would need, right? They would need to be connected to the spiritual realm. They would need to be protected. Their electromagnetic field has to be protected. It has to be strong. It has to be strengthened to be in the Holy of Holies, right? They have to be surrounded by positive energy, right? At this time. Right, and this incense, this holy incense, had to be so high vibrational that basically it was a custom-made smell just for y'all, because y'all loves positive energy. So it would make sense for this to be a part of the holy incense. So with that being said, guys, Shalom Ubraka Mishpaka. Hopefully you learned something.